An often overlooked movement, one of our foundational movements, is the Sumo Deadlift Highpull. This is a gateway movement to a good clean, learning to use the hip and good timing, and it's a movement we don't see that often, but it's something we can get a lot of work done really quickly and powerfully. So I'll show you it to start, and then we'll break it down. So, breaking that down, check out my stance to start. It's the widest stance that we have. It's a sumo stance. The toes are pointed out slightly, all right? The grip at the bottom, most times about thumb width distance from each other, all right? The starting position, you can see, is over the middle of my foot, and the bar is pulled into my shin. The start is exactly like a deadlift. All right, see my shins are vertical, my chest is pulled up, and I have a nice flat back, okay? This is my start position, so moving slowly through the movement, that first part is just a deadlift. The weight's in my heels, I drive up with my legs, right? Right when I get about here, this is where I drive up hard, extend and jump, and shrug my shoulders really hard. The bar will start moving upwards at that point, and as it's driving upwards from my jump, I just finish with my elbows high and outside, like this, okay? Drop back down to the hips, shoot the hips back, boom. I'm set up ready for my next one, okay? So again, the key here is that good timing of not just pulling out front and pulling with my arms, but rather standing or deadlifting up to the thigh and jumping and shrugging to get that momentum upwards. If this weight gets really heavy, you can't just pull with your arms. You need to use the hip and jump and shrug. That's that same movement we do when we do Olympic lifting, okay? So we're really working on keeping that bar tucked in, boom, jump up right there, and finish with the elbows high and outside. A lot of times when people get tired, they'll come up and do something like this. They'll drop the elbows and not finish the movement. Also, when you rep it out, they'll come down a lot of times like this, and the weight comes way out in front of the toes. You want to bring it down the same way it went up. So, close to the body, up to the thighs, jump, finish, drop it back down to the hips, keep it close to the body, shove the hips back, bring the chest over the bar, okay? It's not a squat position out here. You can get away with that at a lightweight, but again, we want to train it to get into the Olympic lifts, work on that timing, and really use the hip, okay? Another way that we can train this movement is with a kettlebell. Not as much balance required, but still hands are in the middle. The weight goes right between the feet. Same setup, drive, finish. Still using the hips, still finish high and outside, okay? That's the Sumo Deadlift Highpull. Practice that, work on that hip drive, you'll get better at your Olympic lifts. Thanks.